Okay, this is lesson 80 for Algebra 1, and it's on scientific notation, which we've done several times before. Just to review, if you had like the number 4 million, you would change that to 4 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 to the 6th. If you had 20 million, you would say 2 times 10 to the 7th. You count how many non-zero numbers goes here, and then you count how many are after that. And so when you're multiplying these two, you would write them in parentheses right next to each other. When they're right next to each other, that means multiplication. Also with multiplication, it does not matter what order you multiply things. Therefore, you can change the order in which you multiply them, and it makes it easier. So we're gonna move things around. We have 4 times 10 to the 6th times 2 times 10 to the 7th. I'm going to put the 4 and 2 together, 4 times 2, and I'm going to put 10 to the 6th and 10 to the 7th together and make those multiplied together. Now, 4 times 2 we know is 8, and 10 to the 6th times 10 to the 7th, when you have exponents of 10, you simply add the exponents, and so that would be 10 to the 13th, and that is your answer. So another example is if I had 0.003 times 10 to the negative 4, and 2, this would be times 2 times 10 to the 20th. Now, this is not done right. They're going to try to trick you on this, and so we need to rewrite this correctly. You put the decimal after the first non-zero number. So we have 3, and that was moved over 1, 2, 3 more places. So a negative 4 is changed to negative 7. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 3 times 10 to the negative 7 for this one, and then 2 times 10 to the 20th. We're going to rearrange 3 times 2 and 10 to the negative 7th times 10 to the 20th. Then you add those two numbers, a positive and a negative, and you get 10 to the 13th, and you have 6, and that is the answer for that one. Moving on, if it was a fraction, and we have 20 million and 4 million, we would change those to scientific notation, and then you would divide. So 2 divided by 4, what is that? That's the same as 1/2, but when you're using division, we're going to say 0.5 times, and then like we do adding exponents here, when it's division, you subtract. So that would be 10 to the 1. And so that is the answer for that one. And then if we were actually to multiply that out, that would be 0.5 times 10, which equals 5. So that is so that you can take it all the way to the end. Normally, you would have to leave it like in this scientific notation, but on this one, we didn't have to. Lastly, we have another fraction. We have 20 times 10 to the negative 45, which I can see this is not written correctly. We're going to have to fix that. 400 times 10 to the 20th, also not written correctly. We need one digit here. So I'm going to change that, and then I have 100,000. That's not even written in scientific notation. And then I have another one written incorrectly, 0.008 times 10 to the negative 15th. So I'm going to fix all of these first. So I fixed them, and I know you know how to do that, so I'm going to skip over that. And so then I have these 4 equations that are in scientific notation. I'm going to rearrange 2 times 4, which is 8, and 10 to the negative 44 times 10 to the 22nd, which comes out to be 10 to the negative 22nd. I just did those in my head. 1 times 8 is 8. 10 to the 5th times 10 to the negative 19 is 10 to the negative 14. Okay, that's how I got to here. 8 divided by 8 is 1. Subtract, and you get negative 8 as your answer. 10 to the negative 8, sorry. So, that is how you do lesson 80 for your homework. They're going to give you just 2 problems to do, and then you can pick 10 problems to do from the problem set.